heard you more, huh? But I feel like you don't know what you want anyway.
Why do you think that?
Because you be staring at me.
I don't be staring at you.
It's like your
that.
eyes is sitting.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Hey, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for the what? Notification of the uploads, baby. Listen, we're going to talk to you guys about Sharron and Rhonda with David, okay? I just want to say this as well. So obviously this show is also started off with obviously about people on an island, they're going to be very sexual, etc, etc. But what's very interesting is that they're going to flip the script. Now, before we get to that stage, I want to talk about Sharron and Rhonda and the difference between Sharron and Rhonda, between David and her. Now, what we see is that with Rhonda, she was attracted, or at least sexually attracted to David whilst they were sitting on she was lying down, and she allowed for her personal space to be entered. This is very, very important because when we're talking about body language, we have to talk about obviously things that are comfortable for people. This is where people get things wrong in reading messages between people and entering into people's space when they shouldn't. So when obviously they're talking and discussing about the suntan lotion, because he's already broken that particular barrier with Chloe, right? Because when he first came in, he put suntan lotion on Chloe. Now we see here with Rhonda. Rhonda's on her back.
That works well. Maybe we should probably just go like to start with. Very PG.
Someone showing off their best asset.
Giggling and laughing, she turns over and now she's showing her buttocks to him, right? So he gets hands on, yeah? He gets hands on with her and, he's rubbing the lotion in, etc, etc, right? So, but he still keeps the distance. He never closes the distance. This is the key thing. He never closes the distance. I believe he didn't close it because he was never sure. Now he says obviously, yeah, I can wait till after. He was never sure. That's why he can never close the distance officially. I think he was attracted to her, but I don't know how much attracted he was to make the move. Because, this is an island where everyone's talking about how they're going to really move mad. But all you did was rub lotion on a bum. And that's as far as you were willing to go. Because I don't think you felt sure enough to make that move. He never got for him the signal that he felt he needed in order to go past. When you see the difference between Sharron and Rhonda, could be between Sharron and David, it's a confidence. Right? And the confidence allows you to enter into spaces because you are so used to the flow that you know how to operate when you get into tight spaces. So what he does.
Alright, cover that thing up.
So with Sharron, the difference between Sharron and David here is one, the confidence, but two, also I guess maybe there could be the racial. Because sometimes when you're black and you see another black woman, what I'm saying, you just have this kind of connection that you have. And you kind of like, there's a natural kind of affinity between the two of you. So now, what we see Sharron doing is that he breaks the proximity, right? David gets to a certain point, but he doesn't enter into the space of Rhonda.
Thanks for letting me.
Yes, he gets hands-on, but he never enters into the space of Sharron. So now there's that naughty little vibe that he had. There was good little sexual chemistry there, good sexual intimacy, but the physical intimacy was lacking. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that is the cute little touches, the intimate affections of hand movements, the little rubs on the goatee, the little touch on the chest, the little kind of cuddles, all them kind of things that are physical intimacy. So what happens is people confuse physical intimacy with sexual intimacy. The two are different. When I'm being sexual, I have an intention to take you towards somewhere and I'm touching maybe body parts of you which we consider to be sexual. Physical intimacy means I can cuddle you, hug you, I can stroke you, I can touch you. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's not necessarily in the sexual areas of you.
Comfortable.
Don't get too excited.
Do you understand? And oftentimes physical intimacy lacks the sexual intent behind it. It's more of a case of, I want to be closer to you. You understand? This is very important because a lot of our relationships, we end up from physical into sexual. And this is where trouble happens. A lot of women want physical intimacy, not sexual intimacy, but because they started on physical and things begin to progress, they find themselves somewhere they don't want to be, right? And the reason why is because if the guy hasn't committed, you don't want to go into sexual intimacy. I've always said it, don't give your body away in a wanting and a needing of commitment, because it ain't going to happen. You understand? You don't have to do that. Do you understand? It's a risky strategy which often doesn't pay off. Now, back to what I'm saying. So what Sharron did is that he's like, come on, sit on my side. Come on to my... First of all, he didn't go onto her thing. He said, come on to my thing.
Alright, cover that thing up.
Now, when he says come on to my thing, what this is showing is this. Number one, she's consenting to the behavior. Yeah? When I say come over to my crib, you're consenting to my behavior. Do you understand? So when he says come over to my side and she shifts, number one, he knows she's willing to move on my command. When he got over, she was like, oh, like she joked around saying, now put away that, you know, that thing, whatever, right? And then he put a pillow between his area, you know, private area, and her, right? Okay, cool. So now what this is going to be about, it's not going to be about sexual intimacy per se, but there's going to be some sexual chemistry and energy that may come into play. You understand? Some fanciful behavior. What happened is that as she lied down, then when he wrapped his arms around her, point two, the feeling of security. I want you to understand this, the feeling of what? Security. Right? When women feel like they're being secured, you understand? Because now what she's getting is not sexual behavior. What she's not getting, I want to have sex with you kind of vibes now. What she's getting from me is, I'm liking you, I'm attracted to you, I desire you, but I want you. Do you understand? I want all of you, not just the body. Right? Because when David was playing with the buttocks, it was very, it's on the sexual part of her body, which shows a desire for the body, but not for the mind just yet. So listen, this is very important. The reason why I'm saying this is because sometimes we feign certain behaviors, or we think certain behaviors are leading to something, right? Because whenever there's sex involved, there's a hidden expectation. Whenever there's sex involved, there's a hidden expectation. So now, boom, right? Whoo, I'm getting chilled. So now, when he puts an arm around her, yeah, they start dropping little bars between each other. So he's starting to drop lines about, you know, you like me, da 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 da. And what he's doing, when he's throwing, we call these fish hook lines, yeah. You throw these lines out to see what the response is, yeah. When I say, oh, you know, you're feeling me, innit? And then you give me either a smart comment reply or a funny reply, yeah. That lets me know that you're feeling me again. That's point 3. You're consenting to my behavior once more again. You're letting me know that you're interested. You know, some of you ladies, some of you, when you hear these fish hook lines, you throw away the bait and say you're not involved. Then you wonder why the guy's confused. He's confused because he didn't take the bait. You understand? So now, when he dropped them bars, yeah, he's dropped it once or twice or 3 times. I can't remember how many times. He dropped it a few times. Yeah. She then decided, okay, cool. She dropped a little smart comment. Not necessarily direct to say I like you, but she just dropped a smart comment. Yeah. Now, what I was concerned, I didn't even see this coming. I ain't going to lie to you, brother. This was brave. Man pulled her head neck up and then started lip-syncing. I was mad confused, but again, because it's kissing, yeah, right, necessarily there's a sexual energy to it, but it's not the sexual intimacy per se just yet. Do you understand? It's still, again, it's borderline. That's what I want to say, it's borderline, again, right? It's that physical intimacy. Because a lot of people, how they view kissing is borderline sexual to physical intimacy. Why am I saying that? Because as a form of kissing, it doesn't also, I know some people say that kissing leads to sex. It does, in some instances. But some of us don't see kissing necessarily as going to sex. Some of us like kissing because it's an intimate thing to do. You understand? It's a passionate thing to do. It shows that I care about you.
Nothing.
Do you understand? And most people's lines can draw at the kissing part, but don't want to go further than that. You understand? Cool. Now, so they lips and everything like that, boom, 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 the little jokesy things. But watch as they're leaving. This is so key. As they're leaving, okay, they start to like kind of jostle each other, almost like how couples normally do. This is no longer about sex. If it was, this kind of behavior doesn't really need to happen, does it? Really? So you see that little push, whatever, and I think they even tried to hold a hand or whatever as well. So these are quite intimate touches and intimate physical behavior. The little jostle, the little hand grab on the hand. Do you know what I mean? These are the things that women oftentimes respond to or try to do or initiate to initiate a commitment, right? So reason why I'm being real, so that the chemical oxytocin that's released is a bonding hormone. So when women are trying to hold your hand, cuddle you, you know, trying to be affectionate all over you, all that kind of stuff, it, again, especially when it comes to you being fresh, what they're trying to do is get to see your reaction, because it's a part of the commitment. You understand? It's a part of how they want to get you to a certain point. Do you feel me? That's why I said there's a hidden expectation. When she's doing all of this, it's something that's running behind the scenes. It's a program. Right? So actually, listen, she can say all she wants about the jokes and about it's just sex, whatever, and that she finds him sexually attractive. It's fine. But there's a program running underneath it, which is expectation. Do you see me? That's why those behaviors of the touchy-feely and the little hand grab.
Things are definitely spicing up between Rhonda and I.
Poor Sharron. He has no idea that.
Etc. comes into play. And if you watch episode 2, which we'll talk about later on, you'll see what I'm talking about. So yeah, guys, I want to leave it on that. Yeah, that little body language you did there. Hey, make sure you watch our other reviews as well coming up. Appreciate you guys. Stay up, stay loaded. Hey, remember, think before you do, otherwise, think before you do, otherwise, no. You better think before you do. Don't do before you think, otherwise you'll be thinking about what you got to do. Do you understand? Appreciate you guys. Stay up, stay loaded.